new hot and techy Brezza, the city-bred SUV.
Well, Tuesday evening gives us a repeat of last year's final. The Super Kings and the Gujarat Titans, both of whom have recorded wins in their opening game. Only one of those two teams will keep that record intact. So who's going to be the first to two wins in this year's tournament? So much has changed since that epic final less than a year ago. Who would have thought when we watched that final over 3 days that we wouldn't be seeing Hardik Pandya or MS Dhoni at the toss? It's Gill versus Gaikwad in what is a very new CSK GT rivalry. On Maruti Suzuki Arena presents ESPN Cricket for Timeout. We've changed things up in studio as well. Tom Moody and Mitchell McClenaghan remain. And you two need to help me giving a very warm welcome. It's a comeback of sorts on Cricket for Two. Irfan Pathan. This is the all-rounder comeback no one's talking about. Hardik to MI doesn't matter. Do you know that Irfan started at Cricinfo and we had to do everything we can in our power to bring him back? Irfan, welcome.
Thank you so much. You know what I remember right now? My first shoot with ESPN Cricinfo, it was in another office.
Yes.
As soon as I entered, the whole newspaper and all the papers are just flying off and I'm entering the slow motion. That was the kind of promo I had. So it was really good. And yes, I'm very grateful to be back here because it's all started from here.
Yeah, we did a promo like that with him. Actually, one of our promos at the time was him like a rock star, almost like a Bollywood actor.
Well, I'm still waiting for my promo. So, maybe ours will come in the next week or so. Look out.
The thing was that the camera could reach till Irfan's height, right? After that,
that's the thing.
But you two also go way back. I believe Tom Moody was your first coach in the IPL? Yes?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
We actually go back very long. 3 years we had spent a lot of time together. Punjab Kings. We actually had a really good team.
Yeah.
We did really well. We enjoyed our cricket as well. And long back as well, when I was in Australia having a nice meal for myself, I thought no one will see me, but he's the tall guy coming in. Oh, okay, what you two guys are doing here? So yeah, I don't know if you remember that or not.
Were you like
Yeah,
hovering
I
over?
do. Yes.
Were you hovering over his meal like a hawk?
Yeah,
No, not at all. No, I was just making him feel welcome.
So I want to ask in all seriousness, we all know about Tom Moody, the IPL winning coach, astute, respected coach around the world. I want you to tell us something about Tom Moody, the coach no one knows. Tom, close your ears if you want.
Should I leave the room?
Anything that you want to say about Tom Moody, the coach, that we don't know?
So I remember once when we were actually practicing in Chennai, I was batting. He used to love throwing downs. He used to actually come and throw down to all of us and to me as well. I actually banged straight to him once, and his leg actually became this big. This big. And I felt so bad. After that incident, I never batted against him. Because I thought, because I was batting that year so well, I was hitting straight. Because my arc was always mid-wicket, but I started hitting straight, holding my shape, and we were working on that.
See, it's a good memory, that.
Yeah, and I remember, I didn't had in my mind before that. And that swelling was like, anyways, he's a big unit.
Yeah.
And then having that kind of swelling on his leg made me feel really bad. And he was fine.
I didn't show the pain, but I'll tell you what, it hurt.
It's a good thing you're a tall man. If I was doing those throwdowns, it would hit me straight over here.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, it takes a long time for the pain to register from down here up to here. So when I got back to my room that night after training, I was in all sorts of trouble.
Oh, brilliant. Okay, this should be fun. And what a good game we've got ahead of us to build up to Super Kings against the Gujarat Titans. Toss will take place any minute now. And we'll have you covered as soon as we hear more from the Chepauk. But let's just get a first chat on the team that covered more bases. Mitch McClenaghan in the first game. Gujarat Titans, we almost thought Mumbai found a way to lose that game. So are Super Kings favourites at home?
Yeah, after the performance that they put on the board the other day, I think they probably are. I think the question mark was over how Rachin Ravindra and Daryl Mitchell would come into the side and could they perform under the pressure of coming to an IPL winning team. And Rachin looked quality at the top and Daryl Mitchell was my question mark and he got off to a good start. So they covered those bases and then Patirana as well. They would have been concerned of his omission from the 11, but Mustafa Azur was quality. He really was. He led that bowling attack well, and that'll put Stephen Fleming and the support staff at ease.
Okay, now as that toss happens as we speak at Chepauk, where our good friend Mr. Sanjay Manjrekar is sporting a very different look these days with a salt. There's no pepper there, so just a salt beard. We'll have him address that accusation when he features on this show. But let's just go back in time a little bit, right? That final, the CSK GT final of last year, so many memories from it. The last ball win by Jadeja and MS Dhoni's emotions captured in what turns out to be his last game as captain for the Super Kings. So we thought we'll play a little quiz, just refresh the memory of our fans as well as our panel on what happened in that game. It's not easy. Plus, it went on for 3 days. Tom's flight was changed 2 or 3 times. Irfan, I think you were at the ground, weren't you?
I was close to Baroda, so I was fine.
Okay, so we are going to play a quiz, and it is going to be connected to the IPL 2023 final. So here is our first question. Whoever knows the answer, guys. Who was the player of the match in that final? Not Sai Sudarshan. Player of the match.
Jadeja.
Not Jadeja. Want to guess?
You've got a free hit here.
Want to guess? Oh. Y'all can keep guessing. Somebody will to get it right.
Final game, last year.
Know it.
Mohit
Sharma.
No, it was a Chennai, it was Super Kings player. Think.
How much Rutu got?
Rutu didn't get a lot in that game.
Conway.
The answer is Devon Conway.
Yes, perfect. There we go.
The answer is indeed Devon Conway.
I don't think anyone deserves a point there. We were terrible. We went through the whole team list.
Yeah, you did say it was over 3 days.
47 of 25 to Devon Conway, and that is why he was player of the match. Yeah, it was the kind of thing which so many performances and so much happened that it can go out of memory, but Conway was player of the match in that final. Right, next question. Highest partnership of the game was between Sai Sudarshan and which other batter? For Gujarat Titans, obviously.
Miller?
Sai Sudarshan.
Shubman.
Not Shubman and not Miller. You want to have a crack, Mitch?
Tuatia.
No.
We're going to keep going here. The highest partnership of the match, remember it was, I can tell you that the partnership was 81 of 33.
Vijay Shankar.
Sai Sudarshan got 60 and Hardik Pandya got 21.
Hardik
Pandya. This is off to a great start.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to help you guys
There's
out.
only been about 1,500 games of cricket between that last game and this one you're talking about.
All right. Let's move to our third question. 2 batters got out for Ducks in the final last year. MS Dhoni was one. Who was the other? It was for Gujarat.
I remember MS how he got out.
Yeah.
He got out like just driving the ball.
I'm going to start guessing. Miller?
It was a Titans player. Miller didn't even get to bat
Saha.
in the game. It wasn't Saha. Saha got a half century.
Did he get 50 exactly? Was there a 0 in there?
54 of 39. And it was right at the end when someone was promoted ahead of Miller and
Rashid
Vijay
Khan.
Shankar, and
Oh, yes, of
it
course.
is Rashid
yeah,
Khan.
Yes.
Patirana got him for a
Should have
duck.
remembered that.
Yeah,
Such an important
just
point.
reminding our viewers, we're all refreshing our memory. Don't worry. Even the players don't remember. From what I know.
That's probably true.
The most economical bowler in the game was whom? He got 2 for 17 in 3 overs. I should give you options now. I think.
Yeah, give.
You all are only giving me
Is
options.
he left arm or right arm?
Left arm.
Jadeja.
Not Jadeja.
Not Jadeja.
Not Jadeja. Left arm is correct. Jadeja conceded runs at 9.5 on over in that game. This bowler went for just 5.66, 2 for 17 of 3 overs.
CSK bowler?
It's a GT bowler. He's left arm.
Little.
Not little.
Not little.
Tall.
Noor Ahmed.
Tell you what.
This has been an amazing
Present day experts, not
This is-
historical experts.
Yeah, the beauty of Irfan, Mitch and Tom, and to be frank, even if I had the questions, but even I didn't remember most of this, is that they live in the present, right? So we don't linger on our past laurels. We move very promptly to what has happened at the Chepauk right now, guys. But thank you. That was great fun. See, you should always enjoy these quizzes.
And the man of the match is Raunak Kapoor.
Oh my God, which nobody will remember again. Okay, Titans have won the toss, will bowl first at the Chepauk. Big news coming through. Matisha Patirana plays.
Oh.
And Mahesh Theekshana misses out. So they've gone with Patirana and Mustafizur Rahman have the Super Kings. Let's get a reaction from Irfan. Yes.
It tells you that they're actually going to have a really good pitch as well. So they have taken out the spinners. They actually got the fast bowler because they know who's there, Rashid Khan.
Yeah.
So they must be thinking about Rashid Khan as well. So they wanted to prepare a really good pitch and according to the pitch, might not be a bad move.
Interesting, Mitch.
Yeah, no, you bang on. The wicket the other night was very good as well, and Theekshana wasn't as threatening as we are used to seeing. He needs a little bit from the surface, so the ball goes both ways. So, interesting one. Theekshana is one of those players that you'd love to have in your team every game, a bit like Rashid Khan, but Mustafa Zur was class. So, yeah, the wicket must be good. It'll be good to see Patirana back as well.
I think the other point is that Chennai would have been thinking that this is probably one of the strongest spin attacks, potentially one of the strongest spin attacks to visit Chapok. So you've not only got Rashid Khan, that probably arguably the best spinner in the world in this format. You've got Noor Ahmed, which they could have gone with instead of Spencer Johnson and Sai Kushur. So they've got every, spin option covered. So they're ahead of the game, aren't they, CSK already?
Yeah, this is, of course, the batting first 11, just confirming again that the Titans are going to bowl first. So we just look at that team, and we mentioned the change that's come in. In comes Matisha Patirana for Mahesh Theekshana. That is probably something that Ruturaj Gaikwad has let loose, and they've only named the 3 overseas. If I can just see that one more time. It's only the 3 overseas. So, yeah, that's the team they've gone in for their batting first. So, Dubey is in the 11 there.
And it would have been a very interesting toss of a coin between Mustafa Zur and Patirana about who was going to stay in the batting 11. Because they're both number 11s, if not they're number 12s.
I mean, when this came up last time, now they've played Samir Rizvi who didn't get to bat, and Dubey was the impact sub. But there are a lot of people surprised about no Shardul Thakur in their ideal 11.
In the first.
Were you surprised in any way? And he clearly doesn't make the team even now.
That's why they gone in the auction after him. They gone after him really hard in the auction. They wanted him to be there in the playing 11, but right now, because they think because Dhoni is not at their peak and he hasn't played any cricket, they want to have extra batter. So that's why they're going for Samir Rizvi.
Okay. Yeah. Yep. Just anything to add to that, Tom?
No. I think that's their best team. Shardul Thakur, I think, a valuable squad member at the moment, but I don't think he fits in their best 11.
This thing of Gaikwad has obviously said that we are going to bring in Patirana, but he's not in the batting first 11. This thing of the poor captain is not
just a little bit of inexperience when it comes to playing poker. It's like playing poker with your cards the wrong way around.
Or a mirror behind you.
Yeah, the thing with this impact rule is since last year, poor captains, they've just gone with what they remember from the team meeting. They don't then improvise on it. Because even Faf yesterday said, we're unchanged, but there was a change.
Yeah.
So anyway,
you also have a few captains that write down the changes on the palm of their hand. So when it gets to the toss, there's been 3 changes. They're sort of, they're looking at the palm of their hand so they can remember them.
Someone did this recently.
Rohit Sharma, man, you remember the Rohit Sharma's interview?
3 or 4 or something. You remember?
And he's like, you just find out from the list.
Fair enough.
You work it out.
Fair enough.
They're over there.
Oh, he's hilarious.
Okay, eventually we will get the right complement of players come out, but that is the news as far as the Super Kings are concerned. Let's have a look at the Titans, shall we? And they pretty much have gone unchanged. So the only thing we will see is that Sai Sudarshan will be on the bench, and he will probably come in when they chase in the second innings. Mohit Sharma will start, otherwise no changes to the team. Sai Sudarshan, one of 5 players in their GT squad who returns to his home ground for domestic cricket, so there is an advantage. Tom?
Yeah, just one point on that. Sai Sudarshan started the tournament well, and he's obviously had a good tournament last year. But this impact sub has an impact on players as well, because I've spoken to a number of players that have been in that position that they're specialist batters, and they are the impact sub. They feel like they don't belong in the game, that they're totally divorced from the game. I was speaking to Raidu actually the other day about it. I said, how did you enjoy that sort of impact? He said, I didn't like it at all. We're all thinking, sort of more of an older player that would quite welcome not fielding. He said, I didn't feel like I was in the game. So I think that's a really careful thing that coaches and captains need to manage, making sure they try to get the players into the game at some stage.
And it can have an effect on fielding temperament of the particular player as well. Because if you're not fielding, especially a young player like Sai Sudarshan, he wants to be, out there and do fielding as well as learn from a close quarters what is the leader doing. What all are the senior players are doing. So they can actually learn and grow as a leader also. So it can have an impact on that also.
I'm guessing also it would help a specialist batter when he's sort of spending time or walking across the surface, have a look at the surface.
You're in the game.
Yeah, you're in the game.
You're feeling
Yeah.
it, you're smelling it, you're seeing it, everything. You're in the game. But if you're in the dugout, you don't get those senses.
It's a good point you make because it's not necessarily the Raidus and Dinesh Karthik's only of the world. I think last year, I remember Venki Iyer was regularly impact sub.
Yeah.
Dubey, maybe if there's an injury, it's different.
Yeah.
If they're sort of managing it. But Sai Sudarshan's here. Prithvi Shaw, regularly the impact sub as well. So a lot of young batters.
Yeah,
You're not complaining.
I'll
right?
take the other side. It's like if you've got a day game or you're playing in Chennai where it's incredibly hot, you want to preserve your energy because that can have an impact mentally as well. You lose a lot of fluid. You can make bad decisions when you bat. So it's always nice going out and batting first. So you pretty much come in as a super sub and come in with maximum energy to go and make an impact as the impact sub rule is named.
I'm actually curious to see how long the impact sub will last. I don't know if it's here to stay for the long term. We've already spoken of how it might affect all-rounder development, right, in IPL. You really, in the next 4 or 5 years for Indian cricket, will you see all-rounders, people wanting to be all-rounders, you know, guys like Dubey, Venki Iyer, none of them even bowl.
I always believe that this rule of impact players will not have effect on all-rounders. I don't think so, no, because every team wants to have 12 players. But if you're an all-rounder, you're playing with 13. So they're always going to look for that all-rounder. You're always going to have that kind of impact as an all-rounder. So, no matter how many rule changes, no matter what happens in the future, the value of all-rounders always be there.
You're speaking from a genuine all-rounder. You are a genuine all-rounder. I'm looking at that batter that can bowl a bit of spin. You're a pure all-rounder. That's the quality of all-rounder that we're going to lose.
So are you, Tom.
No, I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about my good friend here. But it's that, and quite often they're really valuable. Your type of all-rounder are absolutely premium. But it's those other ones that think, I don't need to really bowl now in the nets and work on my craft because I'm out of the game. I'm not going to bowl in a game.
So there'll always be room for the world-class all-rounders, so to
always.
speak.
Yeah, absolutely.
But Hardik Pandya or
But they're rare as
Glenn
well.
Maxwell or a Cameron Green.
It also has an impact on going into the auctions. It kind of covers up a few, papers over a few cracks if your management makes a few bad decisions in terms of that auction, and that all-rounder and finding the right makeup for your team is quite important, right? And with the impact sub, you can make a few bad decisions and then all of a sudden you can cover it by having a batter come in and being able to shore up that batting lineup when you may have had a bad auction.
But I tell you what, who used the impact sub really well, especially in last few days? RCB.
Okay.
RCB, what they did, they took out Karan Sharma. They said, okay, we only need 4 bowlers. But in this tacky pitch, which was a slightly tacky, what I felt yesterday, we want to have extra batter. So they actually got the extra batter at number 8, and he was actually an impact player properly. When he came and he smacked Arshdeep Singh, and this is where they won the game. If the bowler would have come there, I'm not sure they would have won the game or not.
And then the flip side to what you all have just said is RCB can afford to do that because they actually have 2 genuine all-rounders in Green and Maxwell.
That's exactly why.
That's a good point. All right, fair enough. The Titans have also put faith in one of their new signings who you could certainly put into the category of a world-class all-rounder. Azmatullah Omarzai is young in his international career, but he's been given a premium space in that team. He batted 4 in the last game. Now, this is their bowling first 11, so Sudarshan is someone we expect coming in the second innings. But Omarzai potentially could take the new ball again, and maybe that is the player that they want replacing Hardik Pandya, which took us by surprise, Irfan, because Vijay Shankar was normally such a good number 4, but Omarzai to do that job?
No, he's a quality player. He's the one for the future for sure, and that is why they got him. I thought they got a really cheap bargain in the auction when it comes to Azmatullah Omarzai, because he can, with that kind of seam position what he has, he can swing the ball both ways and plus bat up the order. That's very rare breed, as Tom said as well early on, finding good all-rounders. So like-to-like replacement. What has happened with that, now they got Spencer Johnson as well. So Joshua Little, who is actually doing well whenever he got the opportunity, he's not going to get the opportunity as much.
So Mitch was making the point, he's not quite been in the same in the last few months, Josh Little. Spencer Johnson, big game this, only 2 overs and came back well in his last over. Now he plays at the Chepauk International, young left armour going to the Chepauk, and it's got an intimidation about it as well. Just your thoughts on how you see him going today?
Well, I'm really glad that they did stick with him first and foremost. You can have a bad game and quite often some teams will put you out the back door straight away. He looked a little bit off for me, and I think that was the fact that he bowled in a role that he's not used to. He's used to bowling at the top, swinging the ball back, and this is the type of wicket where he'll be effective with the new ball. A little bit of movement, a little bit of humidity. I'd like to see him take the new ball, which is probably not going to happen. But I think that last over and picking up those couple of wickets and it only going for 8 runs in the end, that will give him heaps of confidence, because if that over went for 15 and they lost the game, then mentally, being such a young player, he probably wouldn't have been in a great space.
All right. Well, as I mentioned a little while back, it's the Titans team that actually have more players from Chennai and Tamil Nadu than the Chennai team. I don't think there's a single one in the Chennai 11, but that's the IPL for you. Let's move to bowling at the death. It is crucial when it comes to being the difference between winning and losing, especially at the Chepauk. And Gujarat Titans, most wickets in over 17 to 20, 75 wickets, economy of 9.55. This is in the IPL since 2022. So this is where we again come into why the Titans are so good at the death. You spoke of Mohit Sharma, who's a big part of that. But your observations, Irfan?
One important factor in this lineup is Rashid Khan. What Rashid Khan does between 15th to 18th over or 19th over, he bowls 1 over for sure. And then if you look at all the bowlers, Mohammad Shami, Noor Ahmed, Rashid Khan, Mohit Sharma, they don't have a proper a strength of a Yorker. Like they're not just with Bumrahs of the world. Their strength is to go for the variation, using the pitch, using the big ground. But Rashid Khan becomes so much important for them, and that is exactly why the number is so nice. And then Mohit Sharma is with his quality and outstanding variation comes into play.
Follow on from that, because you point out Rashid Khan, and when you've got a wicket-taking spinner in the middle that can take 2 or 3 wickets, or a combination. Now they've got Sai Kishore as well. You can take 3 or 4 wickets in the middle. You're bowling to tail enders, and that's what Gujarat's done the last few years. They've had the opportunity to bowl to lesser batsmen, and that just shows the significance of Rashid in making it easier for the seamers to bowl good death.
It's funny though, because I think a lot of Mumbai Indians' success, did you really have that sort of high quality spinner? A number of years Mumbai Indians won. We almost thought they won regardless of having a specialist spinner.
Well, I mean, Harbhajan Singh was pretty good.
Long time back.
Harbhajan Singh, I mean, you had Makande come in. Krunal Pandya did a job. Then you had Rahul Chahar, who had a really good year. But it was so we did have wicket-taking spinners in the middle, and that also flowed from the top. We'd take a couple of wickets at the top, and then they'd have an easier time of it in the middle and building some pressure, which then again they took wickets and made it easier for us at the back end.
And Malinga did that job, what Rashid is doing. So Malinga used to come on the 10th, 11th over, whenever the partnership is there, new batter is there, he'll take that wicket. He did the same job what Rashid is doing for Gujarat.
Of course, you had Mitch McClenaghan then every now and then.
Absolutely. The other thing to point out with that Mumbai example is that to me, it highlighted Rohit Sharma's captaincy. You know, Rohit was very clever with his captaincy. When wickets would fall, he would then bring his spinner. His spinner may not be the Rashid Khan type spinner, but he'd bring the spinner at the right time. You're not asking the spinner to come in when the headwinds are at their full force. They'd come in at the right time and bowl an effective over, and if not an effective or more than effective over, they'd take a wicket because the opposition are under pressure, knowing that they need to go.
Well, there's only one Rashid Khan, and why would you ever let go of Rashid Khan if you
I have no idea.
Never, right?
That's
Never.
ridiculous.
No
really.
franchise ever would, ever. But there are very few batters that actually can say, I have the better of Rashid Khan in the IPL. One of those is Ruturaj Gaikwad. 95 runs of Rashid, the second highest in the league behind Sanju Samson, a strike rate of 158.3 versus Rashid Khan, the 4th best in the league, and wouldn't surprise me if you actually have more left-handers in that list ahead of Gaikwad. And in the 2023 season, did not get dismissed to Rashid and scored 42 of 25. Anyone can pinpoint why a batter like Ruturaj Gaikwad has the success that more experience, so many players don't against Rashid Khan?
Well, with Rashid, the players that I've seen that have had success, which is very few, against him, play well through the leg side. When you try to play Rashid through the offside, particularly square of the offside, you're in trouble. So it's the players that can, get down the pitch and play well off the back foot as well and hit through the leg side. They don't try to sweep him either. They don't play a horizontal bat sweep. They play a vertical sweep slog. another player who's retired now is Robin Uthappa, who played him very well because he had that vertical sweep slog. So you're sort of hitting with the angle of the ball. Rashid Khan's strength is, well, he's got a number of strengths, but one of them is the wrong one. So you're hitting with the tide, so to speak. The ball's coming into that arc. You're not trying to go with a horizontal bat.
Yeah, really good point on that. And you saw the strike rate there, 158, 155, 158. And it's players who go after Rashid Khan who do well against him. If you go into a game as a team and you think that, we'll just try Rashid Khan none for 20, that's when he gets 3 or 4 for 15 because you have a negative mindset. You allow him to bowl at the stumps because you've got a defensive mindset, bring in both edges of the bat. But when you go after him, it's like Narayan. If you go after these guys, watch their line and the pace that they bowl change. They end up coming into your pads more and they take away that threat of the outside and inside edge. So you'd rather, when you're coming up against Rashid Khan, let him have 2 wickets and take him down for 34, 35, 36, as opposed to thinking, let's not give him a wicket, let's rotate and then try to target the other end.
Yeah, and the other guy who played really well against him is Sanju Samson.
Yes.
Yeah.
What is the most important thing as well in this? Robin Uthappa, Ruturaj Gaikwad and Sanju Samson, they don't get stuck on the front foot. If you want to play him, don't get stuck on the front foot. If you get stuck on the front foot, you don't have anywhere to go. Just wait for it. Maybe if you can play on the back foot, apart from what Tom said, play on the leg side, attack him, as Mitch said as well. But make sure, as far as the technique is concerned, don't get stuck on the front foot.
Yeah, brilliant. And yes, as we just go back to Gaikwad having the 4th highest strike rate, those higher than him in the league's history, just been sent that by Yash Jha. Abhishek Sharma, Chris Gale, Shane Watson. So you got 2 lefties there. I think Suresh Raina also played him quite well towards the end of Raina's career. But yeah, there you have it. Rashid Khan versus Gaikwad is a contest you can watch out for in the first innings. And then whenever, and of course along with that is Rachin Ravindra, who will have to bat against the pedigree of the Titans. He had a good game as far as his debut goes in the IPL. And as we look at the highest strike rate on debut, that's not a bad list to be on top of. 246, 37 to 15 is high impact innings from a young overseas player.
Exceptional. And to me that just shows he's fearless. And we saw a bit of that in the World Cup. You know, he sort of emerged in this World Cup. We all thought that, you know, this young guy is a good player, but we didn't know he's going to be as good as he showed. And what he has got is good temperament, and he's fearless. He went out. I remember his first shot was a booming cover drive. He didn't get it, but it just shows his intent and his confidence.
Yeah. Right, now he has also a connect to our part of the world, and it was a lovely reunion that was seen in Chennai with Rachin Ravindra and Sriram Krishnamurthy, who was Rachin Ravindra's coach and of course is now at the CSK Academy. And Sriram Krishnamurthy says, Rachin and I started working together in Wellington in 2015. We set small goals. Our reunion at Chepauk was simply surreal because it was never part of the plan. Even until last year, we would have never entertained the thought of meeting in Chennai. So that's lovely. Sriram Krishnamurthy worked with him in Wellington in 2015. They have a nice reunion after Ravindran is a Super Kings player less than a decade on. That takes us to a little quiz. Shall I? I'm scared now.
You should be.
Yeah, I shouldn't, you should be. Right, because Rachin Ravindran was such a successful debutant in the IPL, which is very rare, we thought we'll try and go back in time and think of other impactful debuts. So this is a who am I game. Okay, who am I game. I'll read some statements and then you just need to tell me who this player was. He had a good debut is the hint, it's the theme. It's on screen. Who am I? Clue number 1. You'll get 3 clues per player. I took 4 for 11 on league debut in the inaugural season. So we go to 2008, guys. 4 for 11. Anyone wants to throw a guess?
Left armer?
Tanvir.
Not Tanvir. You can just throw names or I'll go to the next clue. Alright, let's go to clue 2. 4 for 11. I think we'll need clue 2 for this. I dismissed Sehwag, Gambhir and De Villiers in that game. So now you know the opposition.
Delhi, yes.
Yes. So someone who got 4 for 11 against Delhi in the first season. We'll go to clue 3 if we're not getting any guesses. Not Brett Lee. No. I hold the record for the fastest ball in international cricket.
Shoaib Akhtar.
There we go. So number 3 will reveal all. It is Shoaib Akhtar. Excellent.
This is exhausting, this.
This is fun, man. Nobody's supposed to remember it. Okay, so Shoaib Akhtar playing for KKR that season. and managed to have a very impressive debut in the IPL. Let's go to another IPL debutant back in the day. 17 years of history in the IPL. So much more fun. Clue 1. I am the only one other than Brendan McCullum with 100 on IPL debut. Shall I go to the second one? Was anyone fancying a guess?
Second one, please.
Okay, second
Sean
one.
Marsh.
Says Sean Marsh, not Sean Marsh. Let's go to the next one. I have played for both Chennai and Mumbai in the league. Are we getting closer? Are we getting hotter?
Raidu, he played, but 100 on debut?
Hussey.
Well done, Tom Moody.
yes.
And let's get the third one as well. I'll tell you the third clue.
Look at
It is
those
indeed-
eyes. Jeez, they're
And
piercing, aren't they?
he won 2 titles and was top run getter in 2013. The answer is Michael Hussey. Look, you saw there was a confidence in his voice when he said
Hussey.
it. It wasn't one of those Josh Little.
Like the rest of mine.
Michael Hussey, excellent IPL debut, got 100 on his debut in the league. So that's why we're remembering Mike Hussey, who of course is still with the Super Kings as an assistant coach. Let's go to our next. Who am I? It's our last one. I'm the only bowler to take a 6-for on debut in the league.
Joseph.
Alzari.
Well done.
Half
And I will go clue wise for fun now. You have got it.
Sunrisers Hyderabad.
I will go to clue 2. Let's go to clue 2.
You brought this one up on purpose.
I'll tell you why I
It
brought
was
this
an
up.
absolute disaster.
Bowling figures in the league, right? And number 3 was my favorite clue. I didn't even get to it. I claim my record against Tom Moody's team.
Oh, yeah. And I wonder who wrote that.
When it suits me, I call Sunrisers your team. When it doesn't, I call it, Makram's team or Cummins' team or
That was an absolute disaster.
Warner's team. Yeah. Alzari Joseph.
I
6
still
for.
wake up at night over that one.
Unbelievable that was, wasn't it? Okay, Alzari Joseph now, of course, to the Royal Challengers Bangalore after spending some time with the Titans. So those are some debutants that we got. Right, fast approaching the first ball, and Irfan Pathan will have the pleasure of playing this game now for the first time. You guys want to give him any tips before I enter the
Yes,
inquiry?
No, he doesn't need tips. He's an old pro.
Oh,
One batter, one bowler, and then one wild card.
okay.
Wild
Okay.
card, okay.
You'll get this. You're a smart
All
man.
right, okay.
Impact zone time. Right, a refresher for all of you in case you haven't been following us. Now you will. And each expert on the show will pick 3 players from the game. No repeats. 1 batter, 1 bowler. We've tweaked that all-rounder one. You can have a wild card pick if you want. Impact points for each player counted as per ESPN Cricket for Smart Stats, which gives you a much better indication of how a player has contributed to the win. And an expert with the highest points tally will get 3 points for their season tally. So that's what we're looking to do. Now, you all get to pick first ones. Would you to be generous and charitable and offer Irfan the first pick?
No,
or-
I'll just watch. Let them.
Oh,
It's okay.
Oh, what?
Go for it.
It's an advantage to go
Man.
first, mate.
It's okay. It's all right.
Okay.
Tom
between-
did come last. Remind everyone of that. Tom came last game.
You're just
so
very
he goes
silent.
first.
You have some thoughts that you want to voice? You want to share something?
No, I
with
haven't
us?
slept all night because I've been studying this. This segment I've been studying all night. I'm exhausted.
Okay, then let's ask you to go first then. Okay.
I'm going to go with Rachin because I just think we've talked about him quite a bit, and I think it'd be nice for him to.
So we will be picking batters in the first round. Mitch?
I'm going to go Saha.
Wow, Rachin and Saha, you've got a lot of options. Pick your first batter. Ruturaj Gaikwad for Irfan Pathan. So that's the batters done. Now for the bowlers, I can start with you, Mitch.
I'm going to go with Patirana.
Patirana for Mitch. Irfan.
Mohit Sharma.
Mohit Sharma for Irfan.
Rashid Khan.
Rashid Khan for his former coach. And finally, the wild card pick. It could be anyone now. Batter, bowler. Irfan, you can start.
Jaddu.
Ravindra Jadeja.
Shubman Gill.
Shubman Gill. Captains are covered.
Deepak Chahar.
Would you like to see the teams? Okay, I've already got the
I was
answer.
actually thinking.
Deepak
No,
Chahar.
maybe
It's always
yes,
nice
no.
in the early on.
Yes, I know.
I think we're going to get a really close game today.
Oh,
With the 3 of you. I don't care about what actually happens in the game.
It will be a good game too.
Yeah. But you can sense the Super Kings, the Titans, they are franchises that have a lot in common, even though the Titans have been recent additions to the league and they gave us an epic final last year. There is so much on the line here as well as they reunite at the Chepauk. So let's very quickly get first innings predictions from Irfan, Mitch and Tom. Right, Irfan, first innings score as Omar has the ball in hand.
190.
Okay, Mitch.
175.
161.
Should I give mine?
He always goes on the low side,
Yeah, he
He's
goes
always
on
so
the
No, but
negative.
this is always so negative.
Well,
What's,
low
what's
scores
negative
are
about
negative
predicting
score.
what the right score is?
Chino is a good team, mate. They can score
I'm not
runs.
saying they're not
They
a good
score more
team.
than
The
165.
surface, I'm just reading what the surface is going to be and the quality of the bowling that's on display this evening.
He says it's going to be a much better surface. You know, that's why they've not played Tikshana and all. And you're still going 160. You don't trust him.
Okay, we'll see who wins.
Okay, fine. I trust him. I'm going to say 210. Oh,
But
Are you in the
Wow.
game now?
You always go
You're in the
high.
game now.
I'm not in the game. I can't say anything. All right, I have nothing to lose here.
I'm just going to write this down now. 161. Right.
6-1.
All right, thank you very much. Tom, Moody, Mitch McClenaghan, and a cracking debut to start with for Irfan Pathan. We will have him for the rest of the day, as will Tom and Mitch, to join us at the end of the Super Kings innings to see where things stand on Maruti Suzuki Arena presents ESPN Cricket for Timeout. Download the mobile app if you haven't already. It'll have you covered with everything that's happening from the IPL and the world of cricket. Big series has been announced as India go to Australia. Get yourself covered with the fixtures, etc. on the ESPN Cricket for app. We'll see you at the end of the innings.
All new hot and techy Brezza, the Citybird SUV.